Welcome to Fangirl Diaries. This is your fangirl host with the most, Danny, and let's get into today's entry.
Hi, Lilia. How you doing?
Good.
This is going to be a very interesting because we're going to do a movie that I think by the time we drop this will still be in theaters. Because it only opened 2 weeks ago at the time of recording this. And when we drop it, it'll be in 2 weeks. So it should still be in theaters. But this was one that I enjoyed. You know what's funny is that this film, I always figured I was going to enjoy no matter what. I was a little meh on the comic they were going to base this on. And there were some parts of the film that I was like, oh, I wish they wouldn't have done that because now we can't do this. But I was actually kind of excited to do this one. You haven't seen it yet. But you know what's funny? Even if I spoil the whole damn thing for you, it's like you could still go see it and it wouldn't be a big deal. It's like if I spoiled the comic, it wouldn't matter. So we are doing SuperGirl. So this is going to be a really, really fun one. I am a big comic book fan, for those who don't know. I'm a huge fan of both DC and Marvel, as is everybody. My favorite superhero, supervillains, I love... I do love SuperGirl. I have read a couple of Supergirl comics. Actually, I've read the one that this is based on, which is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I'm a big Batgirl fan and Batman. I love me some Harley Quinn. In terms of Marvel, it's obviously Wanda, Captain Marvel. I'm a big Captain America girly. I love me some Captain America. What about you, Lilia?
Yeah, I like superheroes.
Yeah. What is your favorite superhero film? Just shout it.
Film?
Yeah.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really, Guardian? You want to hear a funny story? So, as you all know, I am a girl. And
No, really?
I know, right? Shocking. But I find it so funny how there's this weird thing about girls liking comic books and how girls can never like comic books, blah blah blah. Even though a majority of the audiences, when you look at even back in the day, have always been females because hey, we tend to pay attention and stuff like that. A big majority. It's funny how crazy the Star Wars fandom is, and I'm only mentioning this because it is comics and stuff. People seem to think it's a male dominated franchise, but it's a lot of it has to do because the females in it, and a lot of the female my favorite Star Wars fan story. Before I continue, I'll tell you guys what my favorite movie is in a minute. This woman who was she'd seen every single Star Wars movie since they were first coming out. She had seen them multiple times. She supposedly told some kid was questioning that she was a fan, and she goes, "Let me tell you something. I'm one of the biggest Star Wars fans in the world. You can ask me anything, and if I don't know, it's because at this point I don't remember because of her age, because she was really old or just older." So I just find it funny how there's weird stigma about girls liking comics. A lot of some of the best comic book writers are female. Some of the best superheroes, the well-written ones, are female. And then it's when you look at the anime industry, how many of the most popular animes are written for women? They can give you One Piece and your Naruto's and all that, but what about Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura, things like that? You might not think they're probably, but Sailor Moon's probably one of the biggest anime manga franchises of all time. On the same level as Dragon Ball. Granted, we don't get a series lately we've been getting a remake of the entire original series, but it's such an enclosed storyline that we don't need to remake it or release new episodes every couple of months. The story's been written, it finishes, and that's it. We do musicals. It's so funny enough. You remember when I lived in Korea? So this one Gundam store in Korea had a couple of kujis. They had a BTS one and they had a Sailor Moon one. I did both. I had won a bunch of things from the Sailor Moon one. Some of it's still on my shelf. And the one thing that I won that I lost in a package was a Sailor Venus hand towel. Or I'd never won it. I can't remember. I found it yesterday at Book Off and I got to buy it for $7. I'm so happy. But yeah, so funny enough mentioning Guardians. When that film first came out, I was slowly starting to get into comic. I wanted to get into reading comic books. My dad gave me some of his, so I own an original copy of The Killing Joke. And I think I have Death of the Family. When they were published in paperback back in the day. And I wanted to start buying comics. I just want to go to the library. I wanted to buy and own comics. So I wanted to go buy Guardians comics. So I went to a comic book store. And I'm a little shy. I have anxiety, all that. You want to know the crazy thing that happened in that whole interaction? I go to the guy, I'm like, hey, because I didn't want to go through just the store shelf by shelf. Like, it was alphabetical order, but I figured it would be easy because there's a lot of stuff on the shelf. I go, hey, can you show me where Guardians of the Galaxy is? Like, your Guardians comics. And he shows it to me, and before I could even, like, ask him a question like, oh, like, what's a good place to start? Like, being like, because again, I'm excited for the movies. This is the point of the films, is that they're supposed to get new fans in there. You know what he says to me before he walks away? He goes, just so you know, they're nothing like the movie. Like, what an asshole. I walked out. I literally walked out. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not buying a comic now. I walked out. It took me, I think, a couple months after that to actually go back. And I never bought a Guardians comic after that. Not because it messed me up, but it's just like I didn't care enough. Like, I've read Guardians comics before. They're not one of my favorites, but it sucks that, like, again, I went in there initially to buy a Guardians comic and didn't buy one because it made me so mad how he was, like, so dismissive of the fact that I was coming to buy one because of the movie that I was excited to see. And I love that movie. I saw it 3 times in theaters. I went back to buy Umbrella Academy because I knew that it was like a one, like, series. It wasn't like there were many different versions and Gerard Way, and I went in and I bought it. And then after that, I bought Johnny and the Homicidal Mania. And then I finally got into buy my Harley Quinn comics. But I thought it was so, and it was, the sad thing is, I had to make such an effort to, like, kind of look things up myself online. And it sucks because comic book stores should be a place where, like, if you're going in there, you should, you know, be able to ask the employee for opinions and not feel dismissive. And I've worked in a comic book store before, a relatively small one. I'm not the most knowledgeable on, like, everything comics. I was kind of more better when it comes to, like, organizing stuff. But the stuff that I did know, I was excited to recommend to people. But let's see, your favorite film is Guardians. I think my favorite comic book film, I did really like this one, but if I have to pick one, you know what? I'm gonna say it's gonna be a DC. I wanted to, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to say a DC film, but, like, it's Captain America: Winter Soldier. DC Studios hasn't really come out with that many good like film. I don't know what it is about DC. I always say when it comes to Marvel, they're great at releasing films. When it comes to DC, they have a hand in, like, the animation stuff and the comic stuff. I liked a lot of the TV shows. I love the Supergirl TV show. Like, that one was, like, one of my favorites. I was so happy when they finally brought her over to CW so that she could collaborate with the Flash. That was my favorite. Did you ever watch Supergirl? You ever watched the TV show?
I haven't watched any of them.
It's so good. You could. It's like the later seasons I kind of dropped because I think by the time all of them were ending, the CW isn't owned by. It was sold off to, like, some company. And I think it's like they make shows that hold on, maybe religious stuff. I'm not sure, but they ended it and, like, it just fell off. But I love those first 2 seasons of Supergirl. I was watching it the other day. I think it's Melissa who plays Supergirl in that show. She was on Glee. Yeah, Melissa Bonance. She played it. She played Kara in the TV show. Also, what I love about this series, and I feel like something I should forget, the woman who plays her boss, Kat Grant, who is in the Superman movie. Funny enough, I always forget that. It was played by Harrison Ford's. I say Harrison Ford's wife. As if she's only known as being Harrison Ford's wife. But it's Calissa Flockhart, who I didn't know at the time that she was married to Harrison Ford. She's Ally McBeal. I found this out after I started watching Supergirl, and I thought it was just so crazy. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny she's married to Harrison Ford. Because they make a joke about Harrison Ford in the show. She was also in The Birdcage, which was a film my mom saw when she was pregnant with me. And I credit to being the reason why I'm so fucking dramatic. Thank you, Nathan Lane. If you're listening, you're not. But yeah, we're going to do Supergirl this week. We're going to do the 2026 film. I want to make it clear, I didn't see Superman. Did you see Superman yet, Lilia?
No.
Yeah. Not for nothing. It's just, you know, movies are expensive. And you kind of have to be relatively picky what you go see. Even when I go see movies now, it's really hard for me to pick and choose. Like, I didn't go see Grogu and The Mandalorian. And I always go see a Star Wars movie in theaters. But I went to Thailand. By the time I came back, I just didn't even bother. I was only gone for like a week. Still didn't go see it. I think the last... Well, I've been going with my mom to see movies. But the last superhero movie I saw in theaters was whatever Marvel came out with last. I think that was the Thunderbolts. No, it was Thunderbolts. I think the last superhero movie. Oh no, you know it was Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four came out after Thunderbolts. Yeah, because Thunderbolts came out in May, and then Fantastic Four came out in July. Because I went and saw it Comic-Con weekend with Danny. I remember this. I don't know why Google said it was Deadpool. Because I was like, there's no way it's Deadpool. Because Deadpool came out the year before. And when we went to Comic-Con last year, me and Danny, they had an ice cream truck for the Thunderbolts. They were giving out free ice cream. Because the DVD or the film was like now on like video on demand or whatever it was. That's so confusing. Anyway, let's jump into Supergirl, shall we? Okay, so this description is another one that I got from Google because I was not about to go on Wikipedia because there's no plot description on Wikipedia. So, when an unexpected and ruthless adversary strikes too close to home, Supergirl reluctantly joins forces with an unlikely companion for an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice. I wasn't a huge fan of the comic this is based on. So this is based on Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow. It's basically the same plot. So in Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, it's beat for beat. When it comes to living on our planet, when it comes to being Supergirl, because we have a yellow sun, right? They can't get drunk here or anything like that because alcohol doesn't affect them. So they have to go off world to a different planet to do so. This is the plot of the movie. So Kara at this point is kind of, you know, she's kind of like down and depressed because she's kind of been living on Earth for a short while now, right? Her planet's destroyed. She was sent to Earth to protect her baby because this was in the book. But by the time she gets to Earth, he's already a grown man. He's established himself as Superman. So she's not really needed. And it kind of affects her in a way of like, she no longer kind of has a purpose anymore, right? So this is kind of like the very basic, I want to point out, Supergirl plot. Is that it's usually always been Kara is his cousin who is also sent alongside with him, but is like because of something like a meteor hitting her thing, or I think in there's one version where she accidentally falls into the Phantom Zone for a while and then doesn't get out until like way later. So in the film, it's kind of the same plot where. Actually, not even. This is what I didn't like about the film. So they changed her origin story to the point where Kara is younger than Clark in general. So even if Krypton had never been destroyed, Kara was born years after Clark left Krypton, which I thought was really annoying. So you're telling me that like the whole point of this story is that she supposedly is going to take care of her baby cousin. Now it's just that this happens in some versions of the Supergirl story. I don't know how many. I think this happened in like the Supergirl TV show where Kara technically lives on an off planet or like a different section of Krypton than Clark did. And in this one, that section of the planet gets pulled out from the Earth before it gets destroyed. So they're able to live peacefully for a couple of years before, you know, something starts cutting them off. So in this version, she's essentially just sent to live with her cousin to survive because her parents decide that they want her to live, which I get, but also kind of like they had to realize how this was going to affect the poor girl. And in this version, she's much older when it happened. So I just thought it was kind of crazy that they changed that part of the aspect story. Also, I'm never going to forget this movie. And James Gunn, if you're listening, and I know you're not, but if you are, you need to find some way to bring in Streaky. Okay, you don't know who Streaky is, do you, Lilia? So, Streaky is Kara's super cat. She has a cat named Streaky. I believe Streaky's from Krypton. So instead of like Krypto, it's supposed to be a cat. But in this version, for some reason, they made Krypto Supergirl's dog, which is not unusual. When she's living with Clark, sometimes she takes care of Krypto, or like the Kents do, because he's a super dog and they live on a farm. And she sometimes is living on the farm with them. So anyway, the point of the plot of the story is that she's off planet. She's kind of just celebrating her birthday at this point. She's just trying to figure out what is her purpose. What is the point? You know, she's a super being, sure, but like, you know, Clark has kind of already got that covered. So what is she supposed to do on this planet that is not her planet? Like, these are not her people. Her people are gone. She lived with these people for years. Unlike Clark, who we offered, a lot of people seem not forget, but like, to remember, Clark came to Earth as an infant. He was only like a few months old, or like even a few weeks old, or I think in some versions he's only a couple hours old when he's sent to Earth. So Earth is all he's ever known, unlike for Clara, who's actually grown up on Krypton. So she goes off planet and she ends up meeting this girl named Ruthie, which, by the way, I think I liked Ruthie better in the film than I did in the comics. So Ruthie is from Alien Planet. So her parents are known for like making weapons, and in the comic and the film, her whole family gets murdered by this. Can I just say the villain of this story is basically Jeff Epstein, like. In a sense, like I've seen people compare him, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely what this is supposed to be." But it's this villain named Krem. And at one point, I want to point out they have multiple scenes in which they show that his species, his people, because it's an all male population, they have to kidnap girls to essentially, force them to have their children. And they keep calling them the brides, and it's so uncomfortable. To the point where towards the end of the movie, they have them captured in this ship, and Supergirl is fighting all of them. And I'm thinking to myself, this ship's about to blow up. Are they going to forget that those girls are in there? Because I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them in the film and be like, oh shit, we forgot. Luckily they didn't, and they saved them. And those girls learned to like fight for themselves and stuff. But So yeah, it's like basically fighting off a gross predator alien, and then Lobo's here for some reason. I didn't understand why. No, I did, because we're getting a Lobo movie. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure we're getting a Lobo movie at some point. So they just put Lobo in there. Lobo's not in the original comic book. He's just kind of there as like a MacGuffin. So like when Ruthie gets captured, she has someone to help her out instead of just having her do it herself. And just having an extra pair of like hands to fight. I want to point out Jason Momoa is not bad as Lobo. I dare say he's a better fit for Lobo than he was for Aquaman. I feel like he's having more fun with this character. Like, he wasn't terrible as Aquaman, but I feel like Jason works better in like a fun comedic role like this. He's definitely having more fun. And I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a Lobo film, because if he's going to be like this for the full 2 hours, it's great. I just don't need them to make him like a sympathetic character, because that's like the one thing I hate is like lately a lot of times the villains will become sympathetic, and sometimes they like let them live and they learn a lesson. And it's like, no. He's a god. He's an anti-hero. Let him be annoyingly like crazy. I do have to agree with a lot of people. I'm going to jump around everywhere because I just kind of want to make my points of what I like, didn't like of the film, because it's not like our normal reviews where we have the film to us right here and we can just watch it as we review it. A lot of this is me going off of like notes that I made when I saw the film. So, and I haven't gone back to see it since because I just haven't had the time. But I will say I have seen a couple of people talk about the film because I wanted to get like some talking points, so it's kind of been all over the place. But I do have to agree that I don't understand why the film does look a little dark. Like, I feel like there could have been a little more light to this film. And I'll give them the designs of a lot of the aliens and the creatures are done really well. A lot of them are like actual like puppets. They're not Jim Henson puppets, you know, like. And neither is Freddy Fazbear, as we've previously discussed. Isn't that crazy? I think
the Spirit Halloween animatronic is coming out, and I really want it.
If you buy that thing, not that I've ever visited your house anyway, but I'm definitely not coming to your house.
Why not?
I don't trust those things. My fears is coming to life.
It's not coming to life.
But anyway, they had these really cute pups. There was an interview, I have to show it to you, I have to find it, of this woman who went to like, she went to this reporter. She went to obviously go and discuss the Supergirl like film and stuff, and they brought one of the like it's like an animatronic, but it's a costume. And she said that it freaked her out because she has like a fear of those things, of like animatronic puppets like that, like in real life and stuff like that. And I get it, because some of the stuff is really freaky looking, but they're really well done alien costumes. Right. And I think a lot of like production wise, a lot of it's really good. Costuming for a lot of the stuff was really good. I wanted some of Kara's outfits. Or like outfit that she wore, a very like grungy look that she had. I will say the one gripe I have with this film is the fact that I don't think it fairly got the promotion it should have gotten, in the sense that like I knew this film was coming out because I generally know when a lot of comic book films are coming out. It's not something that, I just happen to know because I keep track of this. I go to Comic-Con a lot. I don't know if I'm going to New York Comic Con this year. Maybe I will. But I've gone to San Diego the past couple of years. I don't remember if they didn't do anything for DC, I think, last year at San Diego. But I generally know when these superhero films are coming out. Lily, did you see any advertisements for this film anywhere?
Just whatever it played before a movie.
Right? So I'd seen a few posters here and there. And then, you know what I really hated? And again, this is why we're jumping around. They did a quote-unquote collab with Ulta Beauty, but it was just like they would bring a standee of Millie as Supergirl to advertise Ulta makeup. Like, not even like a specific like Supergirl, which confused me because when WandaVision came out, and I have the makeup, and if anything, I have almost every single piece of WandaVision makeup from the Ulta collection. Because they made like specific they weren't really good makeup. I will say this. I don't use it because it's not good. But they made it with like the logo. They did like the different eras. I didn't understand why we didn't get like a Supergirl makeup palette. Like a lipstick. Like they could have collaborated with like anything like MAC or something like that. And gotten us like, it would have been so cool. MAC usually does, when they do collections, they sometimes make the lipstick tubes like a very specific design. Like I have this year's Viva Glam one for Chapel Roan. It's a little bigger than usual. I was actually kind of surprised. I would have loved that they had done like a Supergirl like lipstick. It could have been a really light red, like a neutralist red, because that would have fit her style. And they could have done it with like eyeliner or something. That would have been awesome. But they didn't. And I usually buy merch from superheroes. I don't have one Supergirl thing. I was so excited for this film, and it was like nothing. Oh no, you know what I do have? You know who they did collab with? KFC.
I wanted to try it. I'm not gonna lie.
I have two. You want one of the keychains? Okay. Because I have like 3. I got 3 of the Ruthie ones. I wanted Krypto. All I got was I have 2 Supergirls and 3 Ruthies because I could not get Krypto, and I'm so sad because I think the collaboration's over, so they don't have it anymore. So I feel like this film wasn't given a fair chance, and I hate that. And I don't understand why, because like the buckets and stuff weren't that great. I went to see this in Regal, so I took my dad to see this for my birthday. Well, my dad and I didn't get to celebrate my birthday together, so we saw it basically as like a late birthday present / Father's Day. I bought the tickets and stuff, and they had the Lobo bucket, which I thought was stupid because you can't fit any popcorn in that shit. The regular Supergirl bucket and I think a cup. I was tempted to buy the cup because they had a kid version of it, and instead I said fuck it and I bought the BTS cup that they had there. Mind you, the BTS cup that they had didn't have BTS on it. It literally just said like BTS live Arirang from wherever, and I still paid for it instead of the Supergirl cup. So I thought it looked better and it was bigger. That's what drove me nuts. Like, are we even getting a Supergirl? I don't think, no. I was gonna say, are we getting a Supergirl hot toy? But I don't think they do hot toys for DC characters. Or do they? Oh, there is a Supergirl hot toy. It's Supergirl and Krypto. I would buy this. I actually really do like this. Oh my god, I think this actually isn't that bad. Comes with 3 heads. Do you want to know how much it costs? Guess. Do you know what a hot toy is? Okay, so this is a hot toy right here. Actually, I can show you a hot toy because I own a hot toy. A hot toy are like these really nicely sculptured figures. Can you still hear me?
Very quietly.
Okay. I'm going to bend down. So this is a hot toy. I have a hot toy of Captain Carter from What If. They're really well designed. A lot of them are sculptured to look like the character, the actor they're supposed to. So this is the animated because it's the animated version of Haley Atwell. So, and I have, it comes with extra, I have the box over here because I'm never throwing it out. It comes with extra parts, extra hints, so you can actually pose them into different scenarios. They're coming out with K-pop Demon Hunter hot toys. Ooh. And I'm like, going to tell you guys this right now. If you thought the Marvel collector dolls were expensive, hot toys are 100 times more. Guess how much a hot toy cost? Mind you, I bought this one while I was working at the comic book store because I got a discount on it. I saved for months. Got lucky we still had it by the time I left the job. And I got, I think 20% off of it. Or 30 because it was on sale and I got an extra discount on top of it. Guess how much a hot toy cost?
$250.
You're close. So I paid 100 and something. I think most hot toys range to $250 to maybe the really good ones, $600, give or take. The Kara Danvers, the Supergirl and Krypto one, guess how much that one cost?
$300.
Yeah, you're close. $285.
With tax, it's $300.
Yeah. So this is new. I want to point out, I bought this one because like I really liked this one. I actually liked Captain Carter. I know what everyone says about Captain Carter, but I actually really liked that first season of What If. Let me put her down. She's an expensive one. I really, really wanted the Age of Ultron one. But by the time I saved my money and was going to get it at a comic book store that was near my house, they sold it. And I don't think I can get that one anymore. I wouldn't mind getting this, like, saving up and getting this this hot toy. But yeah, it's just, I didn't understand why I feel like this film isn't getting its due. It's not getting the advertisements that I think it should be getting. I just feel like this film really wasn't given a super fair chance like it should have. I find it funny that a lot of people online, a lot of the criticism from, we're not even talking about the movie anymore. And we'll get back to the plot and I'll get back to like my favorite stuff about the film and things like that. Do you know what I didn't understand about the criticism of the film from the weird comic book boys? Lily, do you want to know what it was? This movie was directed by a man. The original comic was written by a man. The only thing is that the script was written by a woman and the artwork from the comic was written by a woman. I didn't understand why, like, okay, people being like, this is so woke, this is so this. How is she woke? She's drunk up her fucking ass the entire fucking film. She's more brutal than Clark. Clark doesn't kill people. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Superman has killed a few people here and there. But Superman is very Boy Scouty. Homegirl has murdered a couple of people. Like, I'm not saying that she's not woke. Like, I think people assume woke being like this whole, like, democratic viewpoint type thing, which is like weird to put on a character like Kara, considering that she's an alien from another planet, and I don't think she maybe has like too much of a. You know what it is? They probably think the woke part is them saving all the girls from becoming sex slaves.
Oh, I'm so scared.
I know, right? But it's like, it's funny because you know what I always found funny about Superman is how a lot of times you'll have the right side of any government, whatever, especially here in this state, in this country, being like using Superman as this symbol of the American values. He's an immigrant. He was not born here. He came here. He's so super illegal that all of his documents are forged. The Kens forge all his documents. They had to make up some story because one day Ma and Pa Kent just showed up with a fucking baby.
Is this illegal?
It's super illegal.
It's illegal.
To the point where I think years later, I think Batman and all of them try to help him make like better documents so that it doesn't look too bad.
It's not an actual story.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. I wouldn't put it past them.
Issue 300.
Bruce makes fake legal documents for Clark to make him see more. But it's like, that's why like when Superman dies, you know, you never see the Kents at his funeral because it's the only way to protect them. Especially because homeboy comes back to life every other fucking issue. You can't kill Superman. He comes back. They bring back everybody. They killed off Jason Todd in the 90s through a phone number, mind you. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so comic book history lesson for Lilia. Back in the, I want to say late 90s, they were doing a comic book. It was called, I think it's Death of the Family. So,
I've seen that one.
okay, so the way they decided to pick how the ending would come about, and you actually can find the photo of the original advertisement. They told fans to call in to vote. There were 2 phone numbers. One, if you called, you voted, you wanted Jason Todd to die. If you voted to call the other number, it saved him. Apparently, some dude hated Jason Todd so much, he rigged his phone to call the number to kill Jason Todd over 1,000 times.
That's so messed up.
And you want to know what's more messed up? You had to pay to call.
Yo, he working like some of the
Literally.
fans right now.
Literally. I don't remember I wonder how much was it. Let's see if we can look this up. How much
That's the equivalent of
did
sending
it?
trucks.
Yes, it's the equivalent of K-pop fans sending death threats to. Oh my god, I have to look it up. How much did it cost? So it was 50 cents a call. Mind you, this is it was not late 90s, it was late 80s. It was 1988.
Oh my god.
And it was only up for 36 hours. He called like 1,000 times. 1,000 times 50 cents is how much? Let's see. He spent $500 to kill Jason Todd.
That has to be over 1,000, like in today's inflation.
Probably more. Oh, I should look that up. Let's see if Google will tell me. Oh, here was the final tally. So 5,271 voted to save him. Guess how many voted to kill him? 5,343. He died by that much.
That's so evil.
Okay, so if this had happened today, breakdown, it's approximately $1.42 today.
Oh my god.
So he spent in today's money $1,420 to kill off Jason Todd. Isn't that wild? So I'm just like, how are these characters, I don't know, woke or whatever? I'm so confused. Also, I want to point out, and this is something that everyone's always said, comic books have always been woke, have always been political. You can't write unless it's a kid's comic, even then. A lot of media, a lot of art is just an undertone of like politics. And you can find comics that are more to your speed, but just remember what you think might be for you, undertone wise, is against you. Like, it's just so ridiculous that a lot of the men were like, oh, this is woke, this is not. It is literally, you're just mad because it's a female-led film. And you're mad that they did it, but again, a lot of women consume. You know what's always funny to me is how. So the World Cup is still happening at the time of we're recording this. The amount of men we've seen buy and go crazy over sports, right? We've seen it with the World Cup. We've seen it with when the Knicks were playing, and we've seen it with the Super Bowl, right? They always make fun of girls for spending like the same amount of money on fandom stuff, right? But what I find funny that the comic book fans don't seem to understand is that because the amount of money that girls will pay for merch and stuff is the reason why they make these movies. They're never going to stop making female-led films. It's funny because the original SuperGirl film flopped. You know, we had one in like so there's another SuperGirl film. It was just called SuperGirl because of course it was. It was done in 1984, 4 years before Jason Todd was murdered by that one guy. Funny enough, the woman who plays Supergirl in that film, Helen Stella, she actually was in the Supergirl TV show. She played Kara's Earth Mother, which I think is really cool. That one flopped. You know what's fun? I think, do you remember when the Sony leaks happened years ago? I think it was the Sony leaks. No, not Sony leaks. So, did you know that Marvel, do you know why we got certain Marvel TV shows? Do you want to know why? Okay. So, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Netflix. That was a given. Did you know that The Rock was supposed to play in Marvel Superhero? He was supposed to play a character called Black Bolt, right? So they were going to do a film series of the Inhumans. They're like they're Inhumans. It's a royal family in a planet on the moon. And there was a guy, I don't remember his name, but if you look him up, there's a picture of him with Donald Trump. Because he's close friends with Donald Trump. He wanted to make this into a film series to rival the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Because at the time, Disney didn't own Fox. And Kevin Feige basically had to report to him a lot before they could make any decisions. And when it came to the Inhumans, they were like, we're not going to do this as a film. I think by a certain point, Kevin Feige went to like Disney or whoever and said, if you guys don't cut him off, stop him from hopping and forcing me to go to him anytime we have to make a decision, I'm out. I'm done. Like, he was starting to leave. And you know it's bad if Kevin Feige, the man who like did all this, was starting to leave. And so Disney or whoever agreed. They said, all right, we're going to let this dude kind of just deal with the television side of Marvel. It's kind of why there's always kind of a debate if like a lot of the Marvel TV shows are canon within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The only ones so far that are connected are the Netflix ones. This dude decided, it's like, okay, well, if I'm not getting my Inhumans film, I'm going to make it into a TV show. It was a shitty TV show that lasted 1 season. I think I'm just telling you a lot of things about how like crazy it is. The thing that, but again, it's like politics there. This dude wanted, this to happen. Comic books are so weird when it comes to like their divide and all of this. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, let's get back to Supergirl. So Seth Rogen has a cameo in this, guys. He's a little alien dude on a bus. That bus scene was really cool. The fight sequence in that one, I really like how Millie plays Kara. She's, Kara, usually you kind of get one of a couple feelings. Usually she's like a really cool teenager, or in like the TV series, she's this hardworking, young woman trying to just find her place in the world. She doesn't want to be super girl. Well, she's told by her family not to be Supergirl. And in this one, Kara is kind of like a do nothing, like I don't give a fuck, I'll do what I want type attitude, and I love it. And I will warn everyone, if you've read Woman of Tomorrow, you know that the plot of the film is that Kara has to save Krypto because during a confrontation with Krem, Krypto gets shot with a deadly arrow that within 3 days will kind of likely kill him if they don't find a cure, which the cure is the antidote usually around the Krem. If you have had I know at some point we all have had pets, but this is definitely one where if you've recently lost a furry friend, a loved one furry friend, I would be cautious in terms of seeing it. I still say go see it because, spoiler alert, Krypto survives. They're never going to kill off Krypto. It'd be crazy.
It wasn't a full John Wick then.
No, it wasn't. But it is one of those things where, like, you see him in pain, and there's just something really depressing about seeing Krypto in pain. And it's really hard. Like, we lost... So, I used to have 2 dogs. We lost our dog, Kiko, sadly enough, about a year ago in, 2 weeks. I was actually at Comic-Con when he passed away, sadly, and I couldn't be home to say goodbye. I had to say goodbye over the phone. So it was really hard. I know my dad, me and my dad went to go see it. It was a lot. Even though I knew that Krypto was going to survive because I'd read this comic. I was trying to see if I still had it. I sadly don't have this book anymore. I thought I still had a copy of it. It was still really hard for me to watch. And it's crazy that you mentioned Guardians because that last Guardians film, did you see Volume 3? Okay, do you remember the scene where they kill off, Rocket's friend? I couldn't watch that scene. The first time I saw it, it hurt so badly. I saw that film one other time. I think me and Danny, we went to the screening they had, the premiere screening they had here in New York, because Danny and I used to be really good at getting tickets to that. And then we went to see it again in theaters after it came out. And I tried going to the bathroom during that scene, and unfortunately I calculated incorrectly when it was going to happen, and I hated that. I hated seeing that scene. It was just so depressing. So I can understand why some people might get heartfelt seeing Krypto like that. Krypto's based on James Gunn's dog. Aww. He adopted a dog and basically modeled Krypto after him. And it's just they changed his fur color, so he's brown, and Krypto's obviously white, so they whitewashed James Gunn's dog. But he's such a cute puppy. Oh my God, he's just the cutest dog I've ever seen. I'm just I love this dog. It was fucked up when Kara and Ruthie go on the planet after they meet Lobo, the people who are running that diner or whatever they're in after Kara basically beats all those people up. They're like, oh, we have a friend who'll be able to help you find them. And then it's actually because they're going to sell them off to the Krem because they have their daughter. And then they all die. Spoiler alert. They all get murdered because, of course, it pissed me off. These people are terrible. But I do have to talk about the the song drop that happened. So there's a cover of, you know, the song The Middle? Yep. So this girl, you meet her, follow her on TikTok. I don't know where her TikTok is, but this girl recorded a cover of the song The Middle years ago for a film. She didn't know this was a film going to be used for. I need to look up the lyrics. It's a rock song, I think. By
the Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah. So she does more of a like. You haven't heard the cover, have you?
In the scene, I have.
Okay, I don't know what you would call that.
It's like a ballad.
It's very poppy ballad version of it. I don't mind it the more that I've watched the scene. I don't think it fit really well, though. I feel like if maybe they had the girl done it a little more rougher, make it a little more rock than pop, it would have worked. Someone pointed out that the song playing might be because it's more like of Ruthie's point of view, which like I could kind of see, but I think we're over exaggerating it. I do agree. It does feel like apparently that's the one thing James Gunn wanted, was to be able to pick the song. Which like that's his thing. I mean, if you look at the last 3 Guardians films, like yeah, a lot of the music picked was because of him. Birds of Prey, like I'll give him this. Some of his sound films, they have banger soundtracks. Like they're really good. Like even the Suicide Squad was pretty good. But I can understand why people don't like it. It kind of takes you out of the scene for a little bit. It's too slow. We don't need any more slow-mo shots or whatever. I don't know if there's anything else to say. Lily, do you have any questions? I think everyone should give this film a chance. It's not... I feel like it's an over-exaggeration that it's terrible. It's actually pretty good. I'll say this. Compared to something like the Marvels, this is definitely better. I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I'll give that what it is, but... I do think this is one of the more better female superhero films. I hope we get a couple more. The editing could have been better. There were a lot of scenes that like just felt really jarring, and I don't know if that's a script thing or if that's an editing thing, because unfortunately a lot of times it's not a script thing, it's an editing thing. I did like that we got descriptions of like every planet and what different suns do to like Kryptonians. But there were times where I was just like, I feel like we could have gone out. We didn't need to have option B be the thing that gets us out when Kara could just done it herself. You know? I feel like there were many points where I was like, when Lobo joined the fight, I was like, Kara's a Kryptonian. She could take them all out. What is going on? I will also say, I like that in the end, they do state that, you know, Kara's going to give Earth a chance. The ending of this film would have been better had they just done beat for beat the comic. So Ruthie's whole plot point is that she wants to kill this dude for killing her family. And Kara's trying to explain to her, like, don't do it. Don't kill him. It'll change you in ways you've never done. And she sticks to her guns, and at the end, Rufy doesn't kill him. But then as Rufy's walking away, Kara kills him. I felt like that defeat the purpose of the point of like the whole film. Like I understand it's like, well, Kara doesn't care because she's far gone. It would have been better for her to realize the same thing about herself and to stop like doing that to people and hurting people. I really wish they would have just done the comic book version where they send him off to the Phantom Zone. And then Kara, yeah, it would have been better. And Kara comes back and finds Ruthie as an older woman. She's lived her life and she agrees that, you know, her not killing him was for the best because it set her on a different path than how it would have been. And they bring him out of the Phantom Zone and he's an old man. And like Ruthie just like drop kicks him. She don't kill him, she just kicks him. I feel like that would have been a better plot point. And you could have done it where he gets sent to the Phantom Zone and comes back as an old man while Ruthie's still young. So she and Ruthie, or had sent it where Ruthie, we don't see him again afterwards. She just gets sucked into the Phantom Zone and that's it. And then Ruthie and Kara have like a mini adventure before Kara has to go back to Earth. I just was like annoyed at that. I was like, we went through this whole thing and you still had Kara kill him. Okay. To my other point though, I do like that they kind of we're slowly building off this relationship between Clark and Clara and how they're going to try to like work. Kara's going to try her best to work on being on Earth, give Earth another chance and work together with Clark because, you know, she might, you know, try to be Supergirl for the Earth. And even Clark's like nonchalant being like, yeah, you know, I could always use your help type thing. I do like that we're getting that bond because in the few instances that I've watched anything with Superman and Clara, I do like when they have this kind of sibling-esque relationship as cousins. You know, Kara is there for him, and even though in those instances because she was sent to take care of him, but I wish we would have gone, like, we did get a lot of that in like the Supergirl TV show. I would have loved that more. But I think that's kind of it. Rating time? I think I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I felt that it's very much a rewatchable movie. I do want to see it again. I loved a lot of the actors. I love Millie as Kara. I think she does a fantastic job, and I want to see her more in this. Well, a lot of the editing could have done some work. I did love a lot of how the creatures look, Krypto looked, the costuming, the fight scenes I thought were really great. Obviously, there are a few aspects here and there, but overall, I just really enjoyed it. And again, to anyone listening, this is my opinion. So, first song of the week. I, funny enough, was like debating what song to put. Some people I know were comparing this to like Joan Jett. Like, there should have been, they use a lot of Blondie in the advertisements, and I was thinking about how like I need that type of era of a song. So what I landed on, this is one of my favorite girl groups from that era. I love Playing with Fire by the Runaways. That is Joan Jett's like very first band with Sherry Curry, Lita Ford. I think the song really works well in terms of like car and all that. It's really rock on, and they should have done more of this in the film. Should have gone more Runaways, more Blondie, more Joan Jett. Like, so yeah. And I think that's kind of where we're gonna end this off here. I hope you guys are all enjoying the summer. Go watch a film. I think by this point, Spider-Man might be out. We're not gonna do an episode on Spider-Man. I refuse. But join us next week for a very fun episode because it's my sweet baby boy Nat's birthday. We're going to be reviewing Max Nat's Two Worlds. All right, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.